Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you are going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a Zimbabwean woman, and I want to confess to you that I was dating a politician, a big politician, and even to mention his name, I am so scared that I'll end up putting you in trouble. So I will try to change the details in my story as much as I can. But what I did is that I was forced to have 5 abortions after I had been impregnated 5 times by a big politician in my country, and it really pains me a lot. And now that I want to have a child, like I really want to have a child, I can't have a child because of the many abortions that I had. So I was told by this other prophet that I visited in Glenview. He was the only prophet. That one, he is a man who knows what he does, and he does not like being on social media. When I went to his church, this prophet then said to me, I can see that you were dating this man, and this man that you were dating was a ritualist. The reason as to why he dated you, it was not because he loved you or you are beautiful, but it was because this man, he wanted to use you for your rituals. This prophet wanted to assist me, but by the time that he found out that I used to date this politician, he stopped assisting me. He was scared and he started giving me a cold shoulder. But he told me that this politician, when it was election season, what he had done was that he had returned back to the village from where he comes from, and there was this other elderly woman in that village, and that elderly woman was found dead, and this politician was the one who had sent his youth from his party to go and murder. This is the way that they murdered that elderly woman. They forced her to drink poison at night, and in the morning, that was when people found her in her bedroom and she was dead. So he told me that I was used by that man, for the spirit of that old woman was now giving him sleepless nights, and he was told that in order for this woman to rest in peace, what he was supposed to do was to look for a young girl whom he was going to date. So as I am speaking with you right now, there is a spirit that possesses me, the spirit of that older woman who was murdered by the politician that I was dating, and I just need help. So I did not grow up with love. I started being a slave queen back in high school. My mother died when I was still very young. My father then started dating another woman. This woman, she was someone that was heartless. The main challenge that I was facing when I was still growing up, I was being starved to death by my stepmother. When I would tell her that I am hungry, my stepmother will then say, why don't you go to the Mbudzi cemetery, go and cry on your mother's grave so that she can wake up and she can give you something to eat. So I ran away when I was still very young, and then I started being friends with this other woman who was from Glenview. So she took me to the avenues, that place where you can find a lot of prostitutes. I learned everything quick. There were women that were lesbians, that were mature and were wealthy, that would come to the avenues, and then they would pick up a woman. At first, I did not like it, but I then saw that this was the quickest way to make money. I would sleep with men and women as well. Every night was survival. That was when I met this minister. The time when I met him, this was when we had been taken to this other meeting, and there was a political party which wanted to hold a meeting in the area where I grew up in. So I was chosen. I can say that I was chosen because of my beauty, because the other young women that were there, they were all beautiful, and we were told that we were going to be the leaders of the youth for that function that will be taking place. And then I saw the minister. I kept on looking at me, and I knew that he had chosen me over the other girls that were present. Later on, that was when I was told that the minister, he wanted to date me. I was so excited. When we started sleeping together, we did not condomize at all. I then fell pregnant. When I fell pregnant one day, he then called me, and then he said, baby, you know what? I am still doing my political campaigns and fighting my enemies. This is not the right time. We will have kids later. Please, please, I am begging you, just have this one abortion for me, and I am going to make it up to you. I was so stupid. This guy, he gave me $250 and I was given a location. I then went to this other private clinic in Borodale, and I did not know that it was a private clinic. I just thought that it was a random house in the wealthy suburbs of Borodale. When I arrived there, that was when I saw a doctor. The doctor then gave me some pills. That abortion was really painful. The cramps, the blood that was coming out, I cried alone, and they did not let me leave until they made sure that the abortion was successful. They lied to me and they said that they wanted to give me bed rest. On that same day, he then gave me a phone, more money. The second time, it was the same thing. We had stopped using protection. He told me that I was his only one. When I told him I was pregnant again, his face changed. And he was like, oh, so you keep on falling pregnant. Please don't make things complicated. I removed that pregnancy. And then that was when I started to have dreams. Like the first pregnancy, there were no bad dreams. The second abortion, that was when I started to have bad dreams. I think that the child that I was carrying in my womb was supposed to become a pilot, because in my dreams I saw myself, I was on an aeroplane, and then I said, what am I doing here? And then I went to the cockpit. I then saw that my son was the one who was flying the aeroplane. He looked at me and he said, Mom, look at what you have done. He did not want to reason with me. He stood up, then we started fighting. When we were fighting, that was when the plane started going down and down and down until it had an accident and it exploded. Then I woke up, I was screaming. The third time, I thought that I was going to keep that one because I was getting attached. I told him, I begged him, and I said, please let me keep this pregnancy. He looked at me and he was like, are you trying to irritate me, Shamiso? Tell me, are you trying to irritate me? We were at this other hotel, and he was like, you, look at you and look at me. You are just a prostitute. So what do you think people will say when they find out that I had a child with a prostitute? You are just a prostitute, and I can replace you. He slapped me so hard, and then he grabbed me and he banged me against the wall. As he was doing that, punching me, I saw that there was blood that was coming out of my private parts. He saw it and he said, it is far much better for me to do this. This is the most simplest and the cheapest way to have an abortion. He was happy that him beating me up, it had helped him to force me to have an abortion. It was really painful. I was then taken to Waterfalls since I was still dating him. And when I was staying in Waterfalls, the guy was paying me a lot of money each and every month, and my girlfriend's allowance, it was $5,000, and I was not allowed to go to town. When I would try to go to town, he would call me and ask me where I would be headed to. When I would tell him, he would ask me questions like, is there food in the fridge? And I would say yes, and he would be like, so what do you want in town? Go back home. And if he would call me even for a minute without me picking up my phone, he will abuse me so much over the phone, so much that I will feel sorry for myself. But since he was taking care of my dad, because he even bought a pickup truck for my dad, since my father, he was selling goats, but he did not have a car, so he used to hire from other people. And he asked me, what is it exactly that you want me to do for you? That was when I told him that I wanted him to buy a pickup truck for my dad, and he did just that. And that was the reason as to why I kept on hanging on to this blesser of mine. There were times when we would be driving around, you see those cars that ministers drive around, the convoy, the beautiful cars, as well as the many bodyguards. One day when we were driving in one of those cars in a convoy, I started crying because I was looking outside at other women. I was like, those women, they don't even know that even though I am in this car with all of this luxury, but I am in pain. He saw that there were tears that were coming down on my face, and he asked me why I was crying. He started abusing me and he punched me and he said, do you know that there are so many women that wish to be with me right now, but here I am with you. I even left my wife so that I can be with you, you ungrateful prostitute. It was so painful. By the time that I told him that I did not love him anymore, that was when I knew that it is very dangerous for you to date a politician. He said that he was going to continue dating me by force and I was not allowed to have another boyfriend. So I want to give other ladies out there a warning. Be careful of whom you date, especially the politicians. They will never let you go until they are finished with you. This is how this man dumped me. Because of the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, I ended up dating his bodyguard, and when he found out, he said that I was a cheap prostitute and he could never share his girlfriend with his bodyguard. But I think it was a setup. That is what I think, because the guy, he started coming into my life, the bodyguard, and he started comforting me until we slept together. That is my own confession. I still have so much pain in my heart, even though when this minister left me, because of the money that he was giving me, I had managed to invest that money and I ran several businesses, but the pain that he left in my heart, it is a lot. Dear listeners, right there was a translation of a message that was sent to me by one of our sister. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Hey.